Welcome back to Anime Capper. Today's movie is the 1998 action thriller, Kite. In an elevator, a man presses up against a woman as they ride it up to the top. He tries to talk to her about how cool the place is, and another large woman rides up with them in silence. He tells the girl how special she is, and he keeps rubbing her all over. The older woman finally speaks up, and she tells him how shameful it is to act that way just because he's a celebrity on TV. As a response, the man kicks the old woman down against the wall of the elevator, and he stands over her to talk down to her. Just then, the girl he had brought with him stands in front of the door and transforms her case into a gun that she uses to shoot the man down. After two quick shots, the rounds explode in the man's body, and the pieces of him are left on the ground. When the old woman finally gets her glasses back on, she finds that the girl is long gone. The girl's name is Sawa, and she stands on the rooftop listening to the sirens in the distance. Then, she leaps off of the roof and gets ready to follow the sirens. Later, police show up to investigate the thug that Sawa had murdered in the elevator. Mr. Akai seems to be the lead investigator on the case, and he enjoys a cool drink while he tells everyone to gather fragments of bullets if they can find any. It turns out that the old lady ended up having a heart attack due to the shock of finding the body, and she lies there dead. Sawa goes to Mr. Akai's apartment later, and they watch a report on how fans are reacting to the celebrity's death. While Mr. Akai smokes his cigarette, he tells Sawa she did a good job, and he has her come over. She tells him that she's just not in the mood today, and she feels bad for the old lady dying. Meanwhile, two men meet up in the park, and one of them, Aubery, asks what the job is this time. The other man hands him a picture with three businessmen on it, and he tells Aubery that they are child molesters and are all targets. Aubery then heads to a garage where he waits, and he finds out that there's another person doing the same job. All he has to do is take care of one of the guys, and the other person will handle the other two. As Aubery rides the escalator, he winds up passing the men, and an explosion goes off downstairs as a distraction. When he pulls out his gun, he shoots one of the men, and Sawa shoots the other two from a distance. Aubery is surprised, and he seems to lose himself for a moment until Sawa shows up and pulls him away from the scene. That evening, Sawa and Aubery meet up with Mr. Akai and the other man, Kenny, to talk about their pay, and they look over the bodies. Aubery asks Mr. Akai about the possibility of him getting out, and Mr. Akai tells him that it won't be a problem, so long as he does 3 more hits for him. Aubery assures Kenny that he won't be late for the next time they meet, and he heads out. As Aubery walks down the alleyway, Mr. Akai watches from the window as 2 kids splash Aubery's jacket with a basketball in a puddle. As a response, Aubery shoots their basketball before continuing home. Sawa also watches from the window, and she comments on how good he is. Mr. Akai comes up behind her and tells her that's why he needs her. The next day, Aubery goes to work at the convenience store, and Sawa shows up to buy stuff. Later, they meet up at an apartment, and they finally introduce themselves properly. The two of them start to get to know each other, and they realize that they're actually more alike than they originally thought. Eventually, Aubery asks her what Akai means to her, and she simply states that he looks out for her. Aubery mentions that it's the same for him, but Sawa has flashbacks of a time that she witnessed Akai kill her parents. It was then that he gave her her earrings, and he took her home with him to pleasure himself with her. Sawa grew accustomed to the situation. Sawa starts to get a little sentimental, and Aubery notices the earrings. Sawa explains that the earrings are actually made from the blood of her parents, but she changes the conversation and has him follow her out. They head to another apartment where they eat and laugh merrily. Later on, Sawa meets up with Kenny, and he gives her her new target. It's another celebrity, and he says that someone else will take care of the twin. Later on, the celebrities show up in the building, and they go to the bathroom with their bodyguards. One of the bodyguards notices someone coming out of a stall, and they pepper spray one of the guards. The other guard grapples Sawa, and after he realizes that he's fighting a girl, Sawa stabs him in the hands with hidden needle blades. Now that the guards are down, Sawa takes out her target, but more guards come in next. The scuffle almost ends badly for Sawa, but she puts up such a fight that no one else can really stand up to her. Finally, the guard she pepper sprayed gets back to his feet, and he manages to shoot one of Sawa's earrings off along with some of her hair. As a final attempt to end things, Sawa tosses an explosive that sends the man flying into the next building. When Sawa goes to check her ear, she notices that the earring is gone, but a guard sneaks up and grabs her. He tosses her out of the hole in the wall and they fall. Sawa gets a flashback to her training with Kani and Akai-e, and she remembers how she had trouble initially. Akai-e held her earrings hostage as he tried to get her to kill a perverted murderer. After hearing that, she empties the clip into the bad guy, and the blood splatters on her face as she drops the gun. Finally, Akai-e gives her the earrings back, and she holds them close. She tells Akai-e to find the man that killed her parents, and he swears that he will. Back in the present, Sawa grabs a metal bar as her and the guard fall, but the weight of the guard makes her fingers start to slip. Instead, the sign gives way, and Sawa actually uses the guard as a buffer as they fall onto vehicles and traffic. They keep going through the road until they end up in the subway tunnel. When the sign crashes down, it explodes a tanker that sends Sawa flying into a nearby mattress store. Back at the scene of the crime, Akai-e arrives with other officers, and he does a sweep of the bathroom. When he finds Sawa's gun, he snatches it up and tells the other officers that they are good to go through to see they can find any evidence. He doesn't see the shards of the earring though. When Akai-e notices that there isn't much press there, another officer tells him that they're at the station since they actually have a witness this time. When Akai-e hears this, he fears that Sawa might be in trouble this time. Back at the station, the witness only tells them that the hitman was actually a young woman, and Akai-e notices that Sawa killed the wrong twin. When he confronts Sawa, he reprimands her for letting a witness see her face, and she killed the client instead of the mark. She rushes out to see Aubery, and he finds out that she was sent to kill him at one point. Just then, Kani calls to meet Aubery for a new target, and he goes to find out that the target is on the subway. Aubery hops in the same car as the client, but it turns out that he was waiting for him. It actually comes down to Sawa to save Aubery from a distance, and he blows up the train to finish the job. After that, Aubery goes to confront Akai-e, and he tells him that he's done. Akai-e doesn't agree with these terms, and he beats Aubery. Sawa shows up to save him, but both of them end up getting captured when Kani storms in. It turns out that it was all an act on Sawa's part. The next morning, Akai-e heads out for a call, and he finds Kani with a bullet hole in his head. Akai-e thinks that Aubery is the one behind this, but when he goes to confront him, he finds Sawa waiting to get vengeance for her parents and her torment. She unloads 2 clips into Akai-e, and later, Aubery says goodbye to his old life. As he walks home, he gets shot by a girl that Akai-e had gotten as a replacement. Meanwhile, Sawa waits at his apartment not knowing that he'll never come home. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more, and comment what you think I should do next. Thank you.